Dude, get that fucking foot out of the screen. That's the nastiest shit.
Welcome back, Washed Up Walkons fans, to what was supposed to be episode 2, installment 2 of Visiting Hours, but we got hacked, so that was bullshit. It was going to be time just, getting together for the Corona Chronicles. That's really what it should have been titled, was the Corona Chronicles, because I'm just bored as shit sitting in my house just thinking of all kinds of stupid stuff to say and try and make Kevin hate me more. So I guess that's really what we're going to do today for an hour. We got Benjamin back with us, and we're just going to answer some Q&A questions and maybe get a little stupid. And I don't know, maybe Kevin will smile once. We'll see.
Unlikely.
Dude. Oh, man. I'm so bored, dude.
So bored, dude. That's why this is the Corona Chronicles, bro.
Here's why I'm bored, though. Well, no, not really. I actually am kind of built for this, You guys know.
We know.
Kevin and I were talking about the first time we attacked the series of Game of Thrones together. Kevin and I, in a span of 12 days' time, from Monday of the week we started to the Friday of the next week, about 12 days, we finished the first 6 seasons of Game of Thrones. We only watched them while we were both there, and we were both gone over that middle weekend. So it was actually a span of about 9 to 10 days where we finished 60 episodes of Game of Thrones, and that's kind of the way I feel right now. I wish I had to still watch Game of Thrones, or I had another show to watch.
Or a job.
Or a job, dude. Job.
Hey, I got him to smile. I got him.
Kevin's smiling. There we go.
The shade.
You know what, though? On the job front, which, by the way, it's 4:20 as of right now. Blaze it up.
Are you trying to get a job, or?
Am I trying to get a job?
No,
Yeah.
he's now officially a Twitter entrepreneur.
Yeah, no, I on the old the challenge, the 30-day challenge, is gonna hold me over for a little bit now. Much more successful and much more hype than expected. By the time this comes out, challenge of
I'm just, life lasts pretty long. Look at a long-term perspective. Are you trying to just do that full time? I mean, hold you over for a little bit. That just sounds like a terrible mindset. Like, oh, I have enough income to feed myself for 2 months. I'm just like, what's the plan? Are you planning on getting a job, or are you just planning on doing this and training people? Or
Kevin, are you fucking my dad? Who?
Well, you need to rephrase that, because I definitely don't think he's fornicating with your dad. No.
Are you?
Thank you, Drake.
Okay. Are you my fucking dad, Kevin?
No, I'm just someone that is a responsible human being that knows that, life doesn't, go 1 month at a time. It's going to be a fucking long ride. I'm just saying. Like,
hey, you don't know. It's Corona Chronicles, baby. We're out here.
Dude, this is the Corona Chronicles, man.
Dude, you know what?
In this group chat got coronavirus, would be perfectly fine.
We have someone who probably is immune to Corona because the Super Bowl title probably does that. Ben, you've sat through what usually is what our intros kind of sound like. 5 minutes worth of just bullshit.
I was out of the country in Mexico just like you, man. So if you got
Corona Chronicles.
See,
Where'd you go?
I went to Cancun with my family. So.
Okay, so I was literally across the. I probably was several miles from you. I was on Isla Mujeres, which is just the island out across from the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were seeing the lights there from some nights. So yeah.
Did you venture to Coco Bongo or Senior Frogs?
I didn't, dude. I know you did on your little excursion, but no, we stayed at the resort the whole time. It was funny. They had a little like teen nightclub there called the Jaguar.
Oh boy.
A teen nightclub.
Yeah, it was like 18.
So what? No drinks served or anything like that, or
no? The drinking age in Mexico is 18. So there were some wild high schoolers out there, and my brother and I, and then his girlfriend's family went too, and we were down there, and there was like high school kids trying to pick fights with each other, like family spring break trips.
I saw the same shit. Shit.
Super Bowls. It was funny, man. They were just trying to.
Dude, I've never seen more Instagram boyfriends in work than I saw down on the island.
That's so brutal, dude.
Bro, the most embarrassing shit. I mean, I literally watched 30 to 40-minute photo shoots where the boyfriend was given the cell phone and this girl posed. Unattractive as these girls were not attractive, okay? You're not an Instagram model. You're fucking not an Instagram model, first of all. Second, your boyfriend hates you.
And third, regardless, this dude should tuck his meat between his legs and put a thong on because he's a bitch.
I've never seen more whipped men in my life. I swear to God, man, I watched a guy take 200 to 300 pictures of his girl in 10 to 12 different poses on the beach, and they only came to the beach for 30 minutes just for that. They weren't even on the beach.
Did Allie have you take a camera roll full of photos of her?
Oh, she wasn't there, so no. That's not really my style, regardless, man.
She was. Ben probably asked her to get the photos going of him, the solo shots of Big Head on the beach. Ben, we had some questions come in, a few of them. I'm going to pull them up. And we're going to see if any of them are decent.
Pretty butthurt that the old V2 of visiting hours didn't happen.
Yeah, and for those listening and the ones that tried to join, so I'm real sorry about that. So in my mind,
if you sat through and heard that, we apologize.
If you were one of the 40 to 50 people that joined while we were trying to get that going, apologize. I apologize because
it was bad.
It was the most what's the word I'm looking for? Toxic. Yeah, the most toxic.
It was a Xbox Live group chat circa 2004.
Yeah,
made Kevin very
cool Call of Duty.
Got angered so quickly.
There was expletives and racial slurs and bad stuff coming out of random 10 to 14-year-old kids' mouths who I'm not sure how they found their way into the Zoom chat. I don't know if they actually are fans of the Wash Up Walk-Ons or if they're just random people. But they were really not going to let that thing go down. And so I had to shut it down because I can't have that. Just can't have that, especially during these Corona Chronicles because it's just not happening. There's a funny question, Kevin, on here that one of the first ones was favorite and least favorite words, including cuss words. And we're not going to get into it, but I already know, Kevin, what your favorite word is.
You do know what it is. It's a highly offensive term. I'm not going to say it.
Who are your favorite and least favorite Iowa media dudes / beat writers? anyone who took down immediately the body bags comment is probably Drake's.
Yep, I was literally about to say.
Yeah.
The top two on my list are probably Morehouse and Chad Leistokow, because Leistokow has like 100,000 followers, and he took that tweet down, which if I was a beat writer and some ass kid said that, I wouldn't have took the tweet down. Maybe I would have. I don't know. But he took this. That was a solid for me, because in that moment, that was probably the one and only time I truly feared for my life. Like, I thought if that actually made it as far as it was going to make it, I was in so much trouble that those two, Mark Morehouse, he was like, I never even dreamed of posting that. He's like, I knew that shouldn't have been said. So that was a solid, but that was pretty bad news, boys.
Who left it up is the question, because that's got to be your least favorite. Because didn't it get back to Brian or somebody?
Well, it got posted in a paper, but it only got in like one or maybe two papers. And then like everybody took it down off. The original videos got deleted and stuff, which was cool. But I don't know, man. I put them in a body bag.
I just put a shout out to all of the beat writers for Iowa, because I feel like it's a good group of guys. Like, it's a generally good group of dudes. You probably got some scummy people in that kind of area of work, a lot of places, but in Iowa, as always, you're just going to find good people who want the best for everybody. So Morehouse, I've talked to him. We're going to have Mark on the podcast. I told him that usually we do the interviews, but I told him, like, if you want to ask us anything that kind of just crosses the line when you are a current player, but would be fine asking once you're out of the program, go for it. And so it's going to be like a back and forth interview where he maybe asks some questions that not really great to answer, not bad questions, but one of those questions that deserves like a KF answer, like, hey, you can talk to KF about that one. And so it'll be a good back and forth between Morehouse and all of them. Kackert or Kakert, I don't even know how to say some of their names. Leistokow, Rob Howe, they're pretty good dudes.
They're good dudes.
The next question was, and this is more for y'all because I wasn't in a lot of huddles, okay, was what's the funniest thing that you ever heard somebody say in the huddle? I guess it's in the huddle, on the field, or on the sideline.
See, it's way too broad. What's the funniest thing I heard in 5 years? It's tough. Nico Law called the national anthem the turn-up song. So I thought that was funny. I was a true freshman, and he referred to the national anthem as the turn-up song. So
he's also turning up with my 200. Funny. I heard some funny things when that true freshman year, when it was Casey Kreider, Mike Meyer, Marshall Kane, Connor Cornbrath, and me on the sideline. Marshall and Cornbrath said some funny shit, some real funny shit. I can't remember exactly the stuff they said, but Cornbrath is just a goofball and a clown and just a funny dude in general. And so
it was always enjoyable when somebody's girlfriend got put up on the big screen that we knew she had maybe possibly been with more than one member of the University of Iowa football team. So the big screen turned into a memory board.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, every time Kevin yelled belligerently at any of the trainers for water was pretty
that happened like twice.
I mean,
They're slow getting me the water. I was thirsty.
Yeah,
water. Ben, any funny shit that you've heard in the league in the first couple of years?
I was gonna say from Iowa, man, we gotta put some funny moments with Lima on the sidelines, man.
Oh man.
Oh fuck.
We talked about Lima a few episodes ago. Lima. Coach Lima is now, first of all, congrats to Lima because he's now leading a program. I believe at Towson.
Yep.
He's the head strength conditioning coach for Towson. Those poor kids. Just
Seriously, though.
just
You get put through the grinder, I guarantee it.
dude, that guy only has one speed, and it's 300% or you're chilling. Like,
What's your favorite Lima story, Ben?
Man, I don't know. I just remember like him trying to get the kickoff team juiced up. Like any body bags comments he could have, like would slap your helmet as hard as he could to where it would like hurt your own head and your brain would be like moving around. You're like just very unnecessary stuff, man. I don't know.
My favorite, and it happened several times, was we'd be out in the indoor doing a warm up, or maybe it was a day we were testing or something. It might have been a day we were testing because I think Coach Doyle needed an extra set of lasers so that we could run 10s. And he just turned around and goes, Lima, go get the other set. And Lima, like a fucking meerkat. And for those, you have to watch this episode when it comes out because this is exactly what it looked like. He was like turned the other way. He goes, yes, coach, and then turns and just runs. And his form in running was not good.
He looks like the dude. He looks like the giant from Happy Gilmore.
Sure. And just took off at full sprint. Lima, who at this point is probably 215 or 220 pounds, used to be like a 330-pound offensive lineman and still ran like one and just took off running to the weight room, probably 60 yards, and emerged a minute later. It was just so funny to see, like, I don't know. First of all, the respect for Doyle. It's just like, yes, coach, I'm going. And then the execution of Lima running a full 100-yard sprint into the weight room, disappearing, coming back.
One of my favorite Ben Niemann funny moments was a few days after Josie knocked him out in the Nebraska game. When that video was all over Twitter and shit, like on Barstool and everything, and Ben just having to live through that. It's just being how Ben is, he's just like, oh, this is terrible.
Dude, I saw
like, why'd they have to do me like that?
Well, let's go back. Let's tell the story. So probably a lot of fans didn't see that or didn't know. Ben, you want to talk about getting knocked out by your own teammate?
Yeah, I mean, Nebraska 2015. This is the game to like clinch the 12-0 season. It's like mid first quarter. They throw a bubble out to my side, and I have the dude wrapped up in the flat. And it's funny because I was talking to Parker Hesse about this, and he said he was behind Josie, and Josie's going in to try to help me make this tackle. And Parker said he saw it coming from like a mile away when Josie just had that like radar in his eyes, like get ball, and he just went and clocks me right in the side of the head. Doesn't touch the Nebraska dude at all. I just go limp, and the next thing I remember, I like woke up and I'm in the locker room. They're asking me the months of the year backwards, which I can't even say right now. And then I see the TV copy, and I find out, I'm like shoving these Nebraska trainers, like telling them to get off me because they were the first ones that came to try to give me some help. But I mean, that was a blur. And I hate Josie for that one, man.
The tape was pretty good on that. That was man.
That was tough.
That was tough is a good word to describe that. So if y'all want to go back and find that Nebraska film, I don't know how many of you just have access to the 2015 Nebraska game. Pretty good game. Pretty cold game. That was a cold fucking game. Then you can see Ben. Josie's kind of like a good way to describe Josie on the football field is like it's like an army dog, like the dogs that get trained, the German shepherds that get trained for military. You got one fucking job, and it's just go devour whatever's in front of you until someone tells you to stop. And that's Josie.
Let's not compare Josie's athleticism to a German shepherd, though.
Well, yeah, he has poor side-to-side ability. He's just read his draft profile.
You got to read his draft profile.
Just read the draft profile. It's right on.
I got a funny one. We were playing Michigan State our senior year, so 2017, and it was kind of a slugfest, like low scoring, whatever. And those Allen brothers that all came through Michigan State, they were O linemen. Josie and one of them had kind of been chirping the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid like shoves Josie after the whistle, and the next thing I see Josie do is just start going like acting like a gorilla, and he was like, like just in this kid's face, and then tries to like, complain to the ref about this kid like pushing him after the whistle. But I'm wondering like how Josie's first reaction is just acting like a
I assume because this guy was like a big like oaf lineman,
oh yeah.
just like
No, Ben, I think you got it backwards. The old lineman was complaining about Josie, and then Josie like looks in his face and like does.
That makes it even better. If the ref, if the guy was complaining to the ref about Josie and he did it, that even makes the story better.
I actually think I think Kevin's right. I don't know why I would know the details of that, but I feel like I saw it or heard it somehow. I don't know. Ben, are you in Kansas City right now?
I'm in Iowa.
Oh, okay. All right. I was wondering where you were at. So you're just at your parents' house?
Yeah, man, getting these garage workouts in, trying to stay after it. So
Just right before we got on, I just got done working out. Kevin, you're just doing a bunch of you got the pull-up bar up on the old door frame there?
Yeah, that's a pull-up bar right there. Yep. Dude, just gotta get creative with what you can do, man.
What's the Kevin Ward fitness program for the quarantine?
I just think of something crazy to do every day and do it. So
I like
last
that.
week I did like 150 pull-ups one day. The next day I did 1,000 push-ups. The next day I did 50 1-minute squat holds. That one sucked.
Wow.
You
You did 51-minute squat holds?
Yeah.
How long did that take?
Like all day.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I
I think it took like four hours or so, something like that.
For those that give a shit about fitness, health, trying to stay active during this time, squat holds are actually a great, any kind of static hold movement is a great, not only a great exercise like in the middle of a workout, but also good for warming up. Like if you hit
Absolutely.
hit like 5 to 10 squats, and then on the last squat, sit in the hole and really like dynamically hold that position, squeeze your core. It'll warm you up pretty quick. Favorite Iowa alternate uni?
Ohio State.
I'm going 2015 Minnesota.
The black, yeah.
The true blackout. The Ohio State ones, there was some gray in there. I just felt like the Minnesota ones, they were just all black. We had the black socks and everything. I just felt like that was
I like
the fucking Ohio State one we got to keep. We got to keep our helmet, everything. The Minnesota one, they're like, we might reuse these, aka sell them for profit because they make all the money.
Never seen those since.
Yeah. Damn, I really like the gold out ones this year, but what I'm waiting for is an all
I
white.
wasn't a huge fan.
Yeah, I didn't like the gold ones either that much. It was
I wasn't a huge fan of the all gold ones, to be honest.
a white would be sweet.
I'm waiting for a white out, white shoes, white socks, white pants, white jersey, white helmet.
Mm-hmm. In Kinnick, that'd be pretty badass.
Everything, words and Tiger Hawks, everything, name on the back, black with gold trim. Tyler Barnes, are you listening to me?
I mean, they've had the mock-ups of that for like at least 6 years now.
They've
So I
got
saw like the mock-ups for the helmets like when we were freshmen.
I know. So Ben, you like the 2015 the best, or the 2017?
Yeah, definitely. Except I just didn't like how they were kind of a little loose fitting, man.
Oh, they fit.
Yeah. They were a different type of material. It was weird.
Yeah. And I mean, knowing Greg, he didn't size us for him beforehand. So
Because why?
Pre-game, Josie was literally just strapping that double-sided tape to every part of my body, trying to get Josie to not look like a dress on me, man. It was tough.
Speaking of an all white, I'm thinking for the Wash Up Walk-On summer limited time store, which I actually have some info to tell you guys about merchandise capability here in the near future. Good stuff, positive stuff. Several people have asked for like a tank top, like a workout tank, basically a bro tank. I'm
And you
thinking
love showing your muscles. So
I'm thinking
you're all
white
about it.
white bro tank with a black Hawks by a million, maybe with gold trim on that. I also talked to our guy.
And stuff right now, you can still get it in Muscatine.
Yeah, you can still always order a Hawks by a Million t-shirt online at hawksbymillion.com or thewashedupwalkons.com. Also talked to our guy about doing tailgate flags, like 4 by 6 foot Hawks by a Million flags to fly over a tailgate.
Be pretty cool.
Beef would definitely buy one.
How about that?
That would be pretty badass.
Um,
I feel like those would be like a very limited number of people, just a very limited market. But
or you could hang it in your garage. I mean, you could put it in a man cave. There's a lot of uses, but
the man cave Hawks by a Million flag would be pretty sick.
Pretty sick. Anyway, let's see if I can find another question. I wrote down some questions, like life questions. Not that. That's a cookie dough recipe because I'm fat. Podcast questions. These are like deep life questions that I wrote down a long time ago, just in case we ran out of good questions. And this would be a good one for Ben. What's the best lesson you were ever taught by your mom or dad?
Man, that's put on the spot right there.
Just a general. Any of you can answer this. I'll answer. I'll just come up with something quick. The best lesson that I have learned from my father in life, and it doesn't necessarily relate to sports, but it also can, is that if any of you know Todd, guy gets riled up a little bit. Guy gets riled up. All right. Already has high blood pressure. Doesn't need to get riled up any more than he already is. The littlest shit makes him, when I was grow up, like, I don't know, you fucking make a sandwich and drop it on the ground or something. And he would just be such a big deal. And he would get so angry at himself or like other people, and just like things would be so tight and tense. And this is probably why y'all, I mean, Ben, you know it too, but for you two who live with me, like I'm just so chill, whatever about everything, is like, I just know that whatever, it's like Corona, baby. Coronavirus, it's going to pass. It's going to pass. We're all going to be fine. Some of us.
Is it passing? We're just going to do the Corona Chronicles.
Yeah. I just don't get riled up about, I don't get too high or too low about anything. Kind of goes back to what KF said. You're never as good as they say you are. You're never as bad as they say you are. Don't ever waver too far from that midline. And just kind of keep trucking, and don't let things affect you. Don't let one mistake turn into multiple mistakes. If you're taking a test and you still have school, I'm sorry for you. Don't let one missed answer on a test turn into multiple missed answers, which I probably did so many times.
Bro, you didn't study for shit.
Because
all your answers would have been wrong if you didn't take them from other people.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of missed answers if you didn't uncover your test enough, Drake. God.
All right, Ben, what's your best lesson, bro?
No, I just want to go back and reflect. This story started off with Kluver like not doing dishes or chores around the house or something, and ended up with him like not missing test questions or something. I'm kind of.
When did I talk about dishes or?
Well, you said like your dad would get like all bent out of shape with like stuff around the house or something.
Yeah, it's just like when shit happens, you can either get mad and freak out about it. Drake, horrible at this. Drake. Horrible. Or you can just realize that reacting negatively and throwing a fit and screaming or punching a hole in the door isn't going to do anything or make
bullshit. Punching holes in doors, first of all, I know that you're throwing shade at me, and it does relieve stress.
But then you have to pay for that later. It just doesn't. It's not worth it.
Or you can punch 4, 5, 6 more holes in it and then replace it. Just buy duct tape.
That's not what normal people do.
95.5, right, Drake?
Right, baby. We're not riding the fucking roller coaster, Kluver.
Drake's never been normal.
That's for sure.
5%ers, baby.
You think of anything, Ben? Any lessons that you really learned from your parents?
I would just say, I mean, this kind of was instilled at Iowa too, but just you get what you earn. No matter what it is in life, if it's, the work you put in and a goal you're trying to achieve, or, how you treat people, or, what you're doing at home. If you mess up, you're going to get a whooping in return type thing. So just, I don't know, stuff like that. Pretty normal type of life lessons that they instilled in me. So
My mom told me not to say bad words.
that
She
didn't
failed
work out
miserably.
for you.
That one came through hard, didn't it? This is a good one. And this goes back to Kevin parenting me earlier in the podcast. Where would you like to be in 10 years? Drake.
No, don't go me first. To
Drake.
be honest, though, I got this idea. Hear me out here. I got this idea that in the future, before anybody's relying on me, like, who knows if I'll ever get married, first of all. But since
Highly unlikely.
since I know that it's not in any reasonable future.
Minus 750 that Drake ever gets married.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I mean, plus.
No, minus.
Long shot that you get married, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. So, I would not.
Eminem level of respect.
So, I got this idea that I'm gonna buy a bus. Just whenever it's time to sell my house.
Here we go.
I'm gonna buy a bus and I'm just gonna drive around the United States, seeing cool stuff and hanging out with my friends.
So in
What?
10 years, 35-year-old Drake potentially could be roaming the continental U.S.
Like in a tour bus.
in a
And
short
like I said,
bus.
I could go to Josie's and watch a game and hang out in Colorado, and then boom, go to San Francisco and do that, and then boom, head to
Drake,
Buffalo.
did you ever
Just
watch
the whole
you ever watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
No, I don't
You're
think
gonna be you're gonna be Cousin Eddie.
I don't know what that means.
Well, go watch the movie, and that's gonna be you.
Okay. But tell me that's not a badass idea, dude. I'd make a stop in KC, hang out there for a while, bang out to
I
Buffalo.
don't get why you have to sell your house, though. I mean, everyone wants an RV. There's no one out there that doesn't want an RV. They just go busting around.
No, but I don't like owning a house, bro. I've owned a house for like a year just because circumstances, and I don't like it at all, dude. I liked way better not owning a house.
I mean, you gotta live somewhere.
In my bus.
Okay, but like, how's owning your house so much different than renting your house for like the past 7 years of your life?
Let me give you the very first. I didn't do landscaping one time in the entire time I was in college. Within a couple months here, I got an eviction warning from the HOA because my landscaping wasn't up to par. Okay, so fucking dad me about owning a house. I don't like it.
All right. So the doors.
I mean, for what? Were you not cutting the grass enough? Or like, what was the problem?
It was the bushes.
They didn't like the bushes, dude. If you in the picture.
I'm fucking weak. Ben, where do you want to be in 10 years? Still in the league?
I mean, that would be ideal, but how likely is that? It's pretty steep.
Your bones are gonna.
I don't know. We just had a former white linebacker on that played like a dozen years. So 10 years, that would make a dozen for you.
Yeah, Drake. I actually had a teammate.
He was a first rounder though, so I mean,
That's true. Yeah, that's. Hey man, walk on mentality, right?
Walk on mentality, dog. Heart don't have stars, Ben. Let him know.
Let him know. No, I was gonna say I had a teammate in Kansas City, and he tore his ACL his rookie year, and was on IR the whole year, got paid, didn't make it back his second year, and was done with the league. Well, him and his wife took the money he made from the first year and bought a bus, renovated the whole thing, and now they just live on the run, drive to the Grand Canyon, wherever they want. The thing is nice, man. They got like a shower, washer, dryer, dishwasher, everything. I think they probably put like I don't know, 80 grand into it, something like that. But it's literally like a house on wheels. So there you go.
See, bro, I'm telling you, I could drive to everywhere except for Kevin's house, so he couldn't enjoy my badass bus.
Why would I leave my house to go stay in your bus? I thought you were driving the bus around to go to hang out with other people at
I
their
would
house.
figure you'd be
No,
looking
no,
for
this would have been like me driving to wherever you're living, and then we just hang out, and you hang out on the bus, and I hang out in your house, and we hang out wherever, and then But I'm just
So wait, I'm gonna hang out in the bus while you hang out in my
no.
house?
It's like together we just hang out in the different locations. You see my bus, I see your house, the restaurant. We hang out, we do fun things like we did in college when we were roommates or something, and then I stay on the bus and you stay in the house. And then in the morning when the sun comes up, we go get some coffee and then we hang out together again. But I'm just not going to do that because you don't like my bus.
I just don't fully understand the necessity of the bus in this whole.
So
this
the
whole
necessity of the
situation.
bus is just that I just don't want to be
it's mobility.
anchored anywhere, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you can fly wherever you want to.
Kev, you should be looking for any excuse to get out of your current house. One, because Corona Chronicles, and two, because the Wi-Fi only works half the time.
Oh, don't I know it?
Are there any other things that we could shit on Gervais about other than not paying for shitty Wi-Fi?
His hair looks like Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, but that's kind of like the Cali
yeah.
kid, though, with that blonde hair. It's not all bad. I wish I had hair, so there's that.
Anything else to shit on Jake about? No, I mean, he's a pretty good roommate. He cleans up pretty well. He's just a little nitpicky about some stuff, you know?
Yeah, he's kind of uptight.
Don't you know it, Ben?
Very true, man. He is one of the cleanest roommates I've ever had in my life. I'll say that. Like he's the guy that organizes a house cleanup like once a week, mops the whole thing out, vacuums, just to the point where it's almost annoying. Like, dude, just relax a little bit. It's a college. Like, it ain't gonna be spotless, but
he is trash.
Well, ideally, if everyone cleans up after themselves, you don't have to do a house cleaning.
exactly.
But I will say this: whenever he does his cooking in the kitchen, the dishes are done afterwards.
Always.
Good for him.
So there was
for him.
the polar levels are Gervais's house and then Benton house, Backhouse, and Miller.
Yeah, I mean,
Miller doesn't look too bad these days, though.
Yeah, but it used to be the absolute undernuts of Satan. So
It used to smell like stale urine.
yeah.
wow. Ben, this one brings me back. So we just did an episode with George last week, and Rob Ton. Shout out to Rob Ton. We asked George a question, or I did, about it's probably a little bit more, not probably, it's way more relevant to him because he's got, basically every company on earth trying to come after and use him for advertisement and sponsorship and all that. With your platform as an NFL athlete, what are your thoughts on, as you get better managing, get better and kind of establish yourself more in the league, establishing the business side of your platform and kind of, capitalizing on your opportunity to do advertisements or be sponsored by products or companies, and balancing that with still trying to just be a good football player?
Yeah. Well, like you said, George is kind of in a different spectrum than me there. But,
Right.
I think for me personally, it would be kind of a line of, okay, can you make a little bit of money on the side doing this kind of thing? But I'm also the type of guy where I kind of just like being under the radar, you know what I mean? Being able to go out, do whatever I want without having people recognize me. In Kansas City, every once in a while, somebody might recognize me, but it's nothing crazy, and it's nice, to be able to go out to eat, go to a movie, do whatever. Whereas George, he leaves the house, he's getting pictures taken, you know what I mean?
Dude, he told a story of how he goes and gets Panda on Mondays, and people figured out the Panda Express. That was the one he went to. And he can't go there on Mondays at that time anymore because there's like 15 to 20 people that will just come in their 49ers gear and wait for autographs.
Yeah,
in the Panda Express.
that's terrible.
Like,
not what you want, man.
I imagine like Patty Mahomes can't fucking do anything either. Like, dude tries to take a piss in a public bathroom and he's got 3 guys hanging over the stall, like
asking him if he needs help shaking it or something.
Needs a shake. Like,
we went to a team movie. I think it was during the bye week of the playoffs that we had, and Pat, wanted to have, I don't know, just open it up for people to go, and instead of, just going to a movie and picking a random time, he just rented out, you know what I mean, the whole theater, and there was maybe like 15 guys in there because he doesn't want to deal with all that, and he was there, like Kels was there, I think Tyreek was too, and they had like security at the door to take them out back to their cars.
Jesus.
I could have just walked out of the theater. No one would have bothered me anything.
Yeah, that's wild. And
Dude,
now,
I got a good
For world.
yeah, Ben's like, oh, there we go.
Yeah, I got a good sponsorship story from Josie, dude. It was after we finished up college, but we were still living together, and everybody was, getting ready for the pro day and combine and stuff. He would just hit up companies.
Seriously?
Any company he was interested in, he would just hit them up on like Instagram or something, and he was getting flooded with boxes of shit from companies he want, like outdoors companies, fishing, whatever, dude. Anything that Josie Redneck Jewel would use, dude. He just got that stuff from sponsors. It was so sick.
Why not though? Like Yeti. I know he works with a couple hunting companies, fishing companies, like
Grizzly coolers.
Yeah, Grizzly. I'm like, you might as well capitalize because to them, what is a $300 cooler that it costs not even $100 to make to send to some guy who's going to post it and get 30, 40,000 eyes on it. Even if you make, I'm not good at math, but if you do 1% of people buy something off your website, which is, even if that might not even happen, but it'd still be profitable on like 0.5% of people buying something from them. So, that's incredible. Which brings me to my another point. I really need to be better about seeking out some other sponsorships from like Iowa City businesses for the podcast.
Yeah, dude, you do.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure who wants to put their name on this podcast.
Well, yeah, no.
But more power to them.
Yeah, if you're listening and you have or know somebody who runs a local business, wants to talk shop about sponsoring the podcast, we can figure it out because we got the Anchor and the Spotify ones from the anchor.com or anchor.fm, but we could run a few. I mean, we'll Pat McAfee some ads out, and if we like your products, I mean, we'll talk about them for a couple minutes and make it funny, and maybe send you some business. We gotta get Grays to like be our title sponsor, but I don't know.
Listen to this. Listen to this, Grays. I was trying to go there with like 8 or 10 people. I was texting Pete. They don't have dinner until I think it's Wednesday or Thursday night during the week. I think it's Wednesday night. And I was leaving on Monday, so obviously couldn't do it. Right. Who doesn't have dinner, bro? My heart was broken.
That does make it's a little weird.
Surprised you didn't just open a restaurant up for you by yourself. Say, "Oh, bring them all in. We'll get the chicken lips, do everything."
I wasn't about to ask him to do that. No chance.
So this was the one weekend Drake has come back to Iowa since he left. I remember, and we're gonna do dinner at Gray's on whatever night it was, Monday or Sunday. Monday. It was Monday night, right?
Yeah.
And Drake's like, "Hey man, they're not open for dinner now." I'm like, "Okay, where you want to go?" He's like, "Man, I don't even want to go."
I was literally making a trip to Iowa City only for Grays. Like I was not going for any other reason than to walk into that restaurant.
The thing is that you were going to drive through Iowa City to get to Cedar Rapids to fly back to Arizona.
Right, but the ride that I was getting, I was just going to stay in Iowa City, but I was not going to have a ride up to Iowa City. my ride from Iowa City or my ride from Muscatine to Cedar Rapids was the next day. It was my mother. Not so like you know what I'm saying? I didn't have the ride to Iowa City.
Fair enough.
Back to the original question. After you're done playing, Ben, is there anything specific that you'd like to use your money for to get into entrepreneurially, or thoughts on that? Or you're just like, nah, I'm just going to play football and figure it out when it happens?
I'm trying to ride this ship till it sinks right now. And then after that, I don't know. I grew up around football with my dad, obviously, and all that. I don't want to coach college ball, but I think it would be fun to, at some level, coach high school football, whether it's, you know, just be a linebackers coach or a volunteer assistant. I don't know about running my own program. We'll see when the time comes. But other than that, man, I don't really have my heart set on anything. We'll see what happens.
There was always that commercial, the two Titans players that opened up like a cupcake shop.
Me and Josie, man.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like you and Josie, or you and Ike and Josie could all pool your money together and open
Dude,
like
if you want to open a cupcake shop,
or like
a donut and cupcake shop, I'll be your 300-pound mascot, dude. I will make myself fat as a bitch just to promote your product. I'm in on it, dude.
and the podcast will do free ad reads for you. But no, like I don't know. That's just something that always intrigues me when like, cause Chad Greenway, he's like running like,
vodka.
Yeah, he's got the vodka. He's got, you know, a lot of his time invested into their like local youth girls basketball program. Like it's fun to see what guys that have the drive and the work ethic that a lot of top level athletes do, what they do after playing with the money that they have. Like LeBron, obviously he does so much shit already. Just, you know, he's the number one on that. Like he opened up his own goddamn school. But like shit like that is just cool. And, you know, guy with no job here is just like fantasizing about what I would do with all that money.
I'll hire you, Kluver. Whatever I get going, I'll hire you. You'll have a job.
I'll sell cupcakes out of your shop, man. Or it could be barbecue or something. KC barbecue.
You hit the nail on the head with a bakery, dude. Let's open Four Bros Bakery and I don't know, Fat Bros Bakery.
Just sell bagels and cinnamon rolls and donuts and muffins, which muffins are just, as we know, Kevin.
Cake.
They're just cake. It's breakfast cake. It's breakfast cake.
There is no difference between a muffin and a cupcake.
No. God, those Hy-Vee muffins that we used to get, my man Mike would roll in with them. And I know a lot of people don't like this word, but they were the moistest muffins on earth. And I would house. So this is how it would happen. These muffins were probably 400 to 500 calories a piece. They were the thickness. Like if you have a what is this called? A hydro flask. They were the thickness of this hydro flask, and probably like halfway up. They're big fucking muffins, all right? And your boy, back when he was rolling around like a Tonka truck, would eat two.
Teletubby.
Yeah, would eat two for breakfast and take another two down to the locker room for post-workout meal. And that's how it rolls, baby.
And that's why everybody hates specialists, because they ate all the cupcakes and nobody else got them.
There was plenty of muffins.
Oh, guaranteed the cupcakes.
There's plenty of muffins, but
the
chocolate ones were always in short supply.
I switched over to chocolate chip halfway through, so you guys can suck it, because Mike had muffins on deck and y'all missed out. You're mad you didn't grab 4 and I did.
So hey, during those muffin years and like going up into the pro day, how long was the window of time when you didn't see your meat? Like when you got too fat that you couldn't see past your gut until you slim back down? How long was it before you took
The people don't want to hear this, my man. But it was a long time. You know, the tummy was a little further out than I would have liked it for a little while. But it was always like that, man. You remember the video, the Vine we took of me doing like the row dance with the dumbbell freshman year, and it was just flubby all the way down. That video honestly motivated the hell out of me once we got out of Iowa. Like, that's why I look like I do now, is because I just can't go back. Like, it was so.
You remember that picture that somebody took of me looking like an orangutan?
I still have it.
That's my favorite picture ever.
We should post that.
Start talking and put your phone up to the camera. And
You guys talk and I'll find it.
I'll find it first.
Okay.
This should definitely be the motivation for people to join the Patreon so they can see this.
Yeah, I feel bad. Well, they're gonna see it eventually. They just won't see it right away. Oh God.
Say something, Kevin. You got to talk.
What? No, people can see.
Yeah, I see.
Oh man,
those tits.
Look at my tits, boy.
Not good.
Man, you look like a new mother ready to feed someone.
Oh, that's terrible.
Ben, I feel so bad because Ben isn't getting love on this podcast. Like, we're just talking about dumb shit.
No, I'm good with it.
Is there any training table meals that you guys specifically miss?
So I was a big fan of when, obviously Gray's, right? But
like specifically,
yeah.
Like,
Get on a shingle. I miss bad.
I mean,
what was that?
Get all that
Corned beef, the chip beef with the gravy on the toast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ben just said he still gets all of the training. Like, he gets training table.
I roll through, man. My dad will bring home a box every once in a while for dinner. It's nice.
God damn.
Motherfucker.
So I'll say this: since my brother's on the team, like, I get all the inside scoops. Black Card has like 45 restaurants on it now.
Hy-Vee is on there now, dude. You can roll in there and get groceries.
Dude,
if you want to go like a Hy-Vee buffet,
oh, you can
not
murder.
bad.
You can
High
murder.
chai.
Oh, high chai is elite.
I could get some Hy-Vee Chinese and some Oreo fluff.
You guys remember like freshman year back at the old complex?
Oh man,
dude, before practices, we didn't have the training table, so they would have like what was it, Chick-fil-A, the Philly cheesesteak sandwiches in there.
Dude,
for
those
us.
Sandwiches were bonkers.
we used to get what was it? It was
the practice field.
What is that place called?
Oh, Pepper Jacks.
Pepper Jacks. Oh,
R.I.P. to Pepper Jacks.
Yeah.
bro.
And only the players who were like, you were only supposed to get it on certain days. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody got it every day.
Every single day.
Dude, training table. I know you two remember training table our freshman year, circa 2013, in the bottom of Hillcrest in our own room. Talk about demoralizing. Some guys get to walk right through, and your boys.
I mean, yeah. And then Walkons like, oh, yeah, just go ahead and charge it to my meal account.
Yeah, $4.25. I'll buy my meal. Oh shit.
Then we realized that, you know what, we're pretty much getting the same food as everyone else in the dorm is getting up one floor.
Yeah,
and we
so
can
we're
get
just
that
gonna
food for free.
Exactly.
So we're just gonna go to do that.
Right. It was like an embarrassing. And then
That's honestly like when some people found out like who was a walk-on. Because like you go through that first camp and like everyone's just like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then you go to training table and then it's like, oh shit, you're a walk-on? I'm like,
it's like, look at all the guys that have to stop at the desk and swipe their card so that they pay for it. Look at those losers. And the food was ass, dude.
It was ass.
You remember the breadsticks that they served?
They're
Rock solid, dude.
Oh,
it was Hillcrest food. It was just dorm food.
it was.
That's all it was.
We got duped. We got fucking duped is what happened. That's why I started going up where they were serving pizza and the ice cream machine flowed like the rivers of heaven.
Burger bar up there in Hillcrest.
Oh, elite.
Oh, that didn't come around to like our last 2 months.
Yeah, it was like second semester they built that thing in, and you bet your ass I was getting burger bar.
Kluver, I remember this is like a specialist thing too, but we were at the Tax Slayer Bowl, and you were chilling during practice.
Oh, I was chilling, huh?
I thought you
No shit.
a little thick, and he was like, "Kluver, come with me." And
Bro, you remember that?
weighed you in.
No!
Random. Like you take your jersey, your helmet, everything off. You came back to the locker room and you were like overweight and you
I
were
was so over. Dude, this is a great story. This is a great story to actually end the podcast with. So, okay. Ben, you remember this shit?
I did, dude.
Oh my God. It's the
That
most
was like 6 years ago, but
Oh my
I
God.
never heard that shit.
Okay. All right. So you remember like the sandy practice field, high school field that we practiced on in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
so-
terrible. Yeah.
And we in the shittiest locker room you could ever have.
No, I mean, we're playing some small town high school with so obviously.
It was bad. It was bad. There was a long walk from the locker room to the practice field. It was probably like 200 yards to get to the field. And so, yeah, we're standing down there. I remember it like it's yesterday. I don't know how you remember this, Ben, but it's one of the more – this is how I know Doyle has magical powers. Like, what a fuck, you know? So, as you said, I'm chilling because it's the end of the season and my snaps are on point and I don't want to do anything, all right? And so the game's in like 4 days. It's like second or third day down there. I'm standing in like the end zone watching the linemen go through Indy do like hit like fit and pads, running people off the line like 5-10 yards, whatever drill they call that, doing some mirror dodge, whatever. And it's like me and Marshall and Miguel, like we're standing there. And so when you are on a bowl trip, you usually weigh like right when you get there, like the first day or whatever. And then they take like a weight measurement, like the last practice day, which nowadays is like 2 days away from game time. So you weigh twice and they're about 4 or 5 days apart. And we had weighed in the first day and I was fine. But when you go on a bowl trip, all cards are on the table and they're feeding you as much as they can. You're going to special events, yada, yada.
Get per diem.
Per diem.
Restaurants.
Kevin and I went to
Florida.
Krispy Kreme and I ate, yes, a dozen Krispy Kremes.
That was Outback Bowl. That was
Yeah,
not that was in Taxler Bowl.
Okay, well, we went somewhere else in Taxslayer and I ate an ungodly amount of food, of course. And my goal weight at the time was 218. I fucking remember it. All right. And your boy knew he wasn't anywhere under 223. So Doyle walks by and it's like in the middle of those two weigh periods. I know I've got 2 to 2.5 days till we're weighing in again. And he walks by and he's just like so nonchalant. He's like, Kluver, why don't you come weigh in after practice? You're looking a little heavy. And I was like, it was like a joke. Like that never happens. He never just pulls somebody out of practice to just weigh them midweek, right? And so I kind of turned around. It was like year 2. I was a little bit higher on the doghouse scale than I was the year before. And I kind of looked at him like, okay, you're serious? Like you actually want me to weigh in? And he's like, yeah, I fucking want you to weigh in. Come weigh in after practice. And just kept walking. And I looked at Marshall like, this fucking guy, huh?
you probably
And I knew I was
water the rest of practice.
I didn't have a single drink the rest of practice, and I was spitting as much as I could. And I must have looked like the Michelin Man in my uniform because evidently Doyle knew. So end of practice rolls around, and it's the only thing on my mind for the last 60 minutes of practice. I'm like, I'm fucked. I'm weighing in, and I'm fucked because I know I feel heavy. I can feel my gut right now. And Doyle's gonna weigh me in, and then in stretch tomorrow, he's gonna walk through when it's all quiet, and he's gonna announce to the entire fucking team that the long snapper is overweight. That's what he did. So sure
I'll
enough,
enjoy the shit out of it.
sure enough, I go to weigh in on this scale, and I know that I'm in trouble. And what comes across but 225 on the scale. post-practice, because guess what? Specialists don't sweat, even in Florida, because we don't do anything. I thought I was maybe going to be okay. Nope, 225, 7 pounds over. And guess who was running extra conditioning reps the next time we lifted? Because we did like these makeshift lift / kind of conditioning.
The shittiest outdoor shack, dude. Pretty sure we all got like malaria from that little shack.
Yeah, we
probably
probably
had
all
the
have
corona
malaria.
back
That's
then.
where Corona started. And your guy did an extra 455s, which not a big deal other than it hurt my pride. And Doyle just knew. He pulled me. He pulled a one in a lifetime, hey, weigh in after practice, middle of the week. And he fucked me. It was
That's
one
a
of the many
great
times.
story.
No, I can't. Were you by me, Ben? Like, how did you, or do you remember me talking about it or something?
I just remember you being pissed about it.
Yeah,
You're like, this is not fair at all. Like,
I was the only one to weigh in.
Yeah.
There's 120 guys on a bull trip, 30 staff members, and he picks me to pick on and weigh in after practice. And of course, 7 pounds heavier than I'm
Oh,
supposed to.
remember the Safranco weight challenges, man?
Those are good too.
Those are great.
Too.
Dude, Safranco, James Ferentz put Safranco on a bench probably like right before we all got kicked out of the complex for the corona. And they had Safranco benching 115, man. He was tossing.
Hey,
My
okay,
guy
Max.
Maximus has been working on his fitness.
Yeah.
Should we get Kedley back and see what he can do?
Oh God. So I guess before we leave this thing off, what's the tentative plan here, Ben, for you to keep training? And like, what have you heard from the Chiefs? What have you heard from Iowa staff? Like, what's the word on this whole COVID-19 deal?
Everything for me right now is just put on hold. The NFL has, OTAs pushed back indefinitely. Talked to my coaches in Kansas City, and they don't know anything more than I do. So it's kind of just a waiting game. With Iowa, all the freshmen got moved out of the dorm. So, or they're going to if they haven't yet. So spring ball's out the window. Basically, just hopefully I can get back in the complex as soon as possible. Right now I'm just working out in a guy's garage in Iowa City doing like a bunch of pyramid type of stuff, like 10, 8, 6, sets like that. And I haven't done that in forever. So the first week I did that, I was toasted, but it's pretty good work. Something different.
You should get Bo to hook you up with Phil Johnson.
Is that the West Branch dude he used to work out with?
Yeah.
Bo was strong coming in, man. I feel like he
Strong.
was like cleaning a lot in high school and doing all that.
Bo's also the most obnoxious hang cleaner in the world. But
He hits a little I don't know, he pops it off his quad or however.
There's a lot of thrust action.
A lot of hip motion, which honestly, Ben, you can learn from because Coach Walsh just loves shitting on your hip thrusts.
Dude, what was that drill? The 6-point explosion or whatever?
Yeah, the 6-point explosion drill. You were just off. You were honestly the worst of linebackers to do it, which was absolutely crazy because it was like you and Josie were like the best 2 linebackers on the field, but you just couldn't fucking do this drill.
The 4-point explosion I was good at, man. I've been going back and doing skills and drills, before all this went down, and they'll go to that drill and I just won't do it. I'll always have something to say to me and I'll be like, I'm retired from that, man. It's just not in the gene card.
Coach Wallace.
Niemann, tell your girlfriend we got to work on them hips.
My God.
Oh man. Well, maybe we'll leave it there. Ben, I'm glad you were able to join us. Not that anyone on earth has anything better to do right now because Corona Chronicles.
Exactly, bro. We're just going to keep bringing these episodes.
Yeah, there's a good chance that Drake and I record an episode every day this week. We're going to we might as well.
Neither of us have an employer. I'm thinking that I couldn't go play poker because the casino shut down. I wouldn't be doing it anyways, but it's a great excuse.
Yeah. That's it. Episode whatever of this podcast. Not even sure when this will get released, depending on who else we have on the podcast this week. Appreciate you guys for listening. Give us your thoughts on any new merchandise items potentially that you'd like to see in the future, some summer items. Give Give us your thoughts on that H-band flag. And leave us a like and review. Go follow Ben Niemann on all his social media, even though
Speaking of social media, if you guys just want to tag me and Kluver in any post shitting on him, that would be great. You don't even have to necessarily tag him, but if you want to shit on Kluver on social media, please tag me. I like to enjoy that with you guys.
Oh yeah, and on the next podcast, we'll narrow it down. On the next podcast, we'll have Drake open up with his winner for the caption contest on the photo of me falling on the 2-yard line during the polecat play. But that's it. Kevin is fighting Corona. Ben Niemann is working out in garages. Drake is.
You have the Corona.
I do not. Drake's taking his dog to the park every day, and that's about it. Wash Up Walk-Ons out.
Wash your
Hearts have
hands.
Stars. Hawks by a million. Peace.